Hey guys, it's your boy, Ballface8020, back again with another great commentary. Sorry about the unsteady camera, I'm still using my hand to hold it. So a viewer asked this a while ago, and I think it's a good enough question to do a quick response to. He had asked, do you have advice about flirting with girls at work? And, I'm thinking about it and thinking like, has there ever really been too many cases where it's even come up for me? Which, doesn't mean, I'm not saying you need to have it come up for you in order to be able to give advice or give thoughts, but think about myself first. And I'll tell you right out, like off the top of my head, nothing comes to mind. So I'm trying to think, like, has there ever been one? Well, I've definitely worked, especially when I was younger, worked with some girls who I thought were attractive. I would never say that we flirted at all, though. Like even one who I was kind of friendly with, like she was also kind of like, like I would say a nerd, but nerds are smart, and this one, despite being half Asian, was not too smart, and she was just like a dork. So she wasn't very flirty, and so have I ever flirted with a female colleague? There was one who I tried to. That was actually one of. I'm trying to think of how. And I was old by this time. I was like in my late 30s, and she was, I think, 23. But I just didn't see her enough at work to really do anything. So I tried, but it didn't go anywhere. So I definitely can't give you any firsthand advice about like how to be successful or stuff to avoid. Other than that, what I would say is, and with the caveat that I'm not saying you can't have a relationship with somebody at work or you can't flirt with a colleague. I'm not saying anything like that. But going into it, I would advise some caution. And because the thing is, you have to, and it's easy as guys for us to lose sight of this. Women aren't just men in female bodies. They they don't think the same way we do. They really don't. So like a guy, if he's flirting, he's got some interest in that girl, and that is just not the case with girls. It's like, and I look back on this now and see that a lot of girls, who I felt were interested in me when I was younger, I've gone, if I think about the interactions and go back, it's like, you know what? They probably weren't. They probably just wanted to flirt. And so and then work is like is a total captive thing. Work is boring. People want to do things to pass the time. And then you got girls who are completely addicted to male attention and stuff. And they naturally like to flirt anyway. And, there's no other guys around, maybe, or at least, there's no other guys around except you, or you're the best guy who's available in around. But you may be the best at that office, that store, whatever, for the hours that she's there. But once she leaves, you're competing against the whole world again, and you don't necessarily look as good by comparison. So it's tough. I think that the odds are if you just want to flirt, you can do that. But if you want it to actually go anywhere, I think the odds are kind of stacked against you. You can do it, but it's going to be difficult. And I'm not advising to avoid it because it varies so much on the particular situation. But I know that, there's probably a lot of guys who are thinking like they think they're getting some IOIs from a female coworker, but they're not really sure, and it seems like she's flirting, but they're not sure and stuff. It's like, well, if she seems like she's flirting, she is, okay? Unless you're just, autistic or socially retarded. If you are autistic or socially retarded, I'm going to tell you right now, no, she's not flirting, because women don't flirt. Women can pick that up, and they don't want to flirt with your retarded ass, okay? They're afraid of you. They're not flirting with you. But if you're not socially retarded or autistic and you think she might be flirting and you're not sure, like, is she flirting or not? She's flirting. But that doesn't mean anything. Flirting does not mean she wants you to make a move. Does not mean she wants to go out with you. Doesn't mean she wants to do something beyond going out with you. And there's a really, really, really good chance that all she wants is not necessarily for you to simp, although I'm sure that would be nice, but just flirt for its own sake. She might not even realize she's doing it. And like I said, she might not even know what she wants. So I mean, that's why, I would be cautious. For me, like, I basically can't flirt. I'm just like incapable of doing it because I'm too left brain, and you guys can look that up if you don't follow what I mean. But I was about to say I wish I was smoother, but like, 40 years old, a difference doesn't make. When I was younger, it would have been helpful. Yeah, so that's all I would say. I would say that, like, if you're looking for places where you can actually meet girls, you would probably want to do something more with like clubs and events, like with common interest. Internet dating obviously is a no-go. That's not going to work. It's just a waste of time if you're not either really, really tall or Chad. And maybe if you have like tons of money, but even then it's probably not going to happen because they're not going to read your profile once they see your picture. So internet dating is, I don't know if there are any normie guys who've had success with it, let me know. But my understanding is that normie guys don't have success on internet dating anymore, and so few. I know, like, the incels all like to say that, like, well, today most relationships start online. It's like, okay, whatever. I don't care. That's probably true statistically, but here's what I can tell you for sure: a very, very, very small percentage of the female population is online. Now, that may be because they already have boyfriends who they met online, but but my guess is that even amongst single women, the percentage who are on online dating is pretty low. So yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. So no, yeah, you can do it if you want. As for like specific advice of like how to be successful at it, well, again, I don't believe you can give advice about something like that. I think flirting with a coworker would be the same way you would flirt with anybody else. And I really think you either got it or you don't. I think that there's a tendency to assume, like, okay, well, looks without surgery are unchangeable. Height without leg lengthening surgery is unchangeable. Stuff like, most of the stuff is either unchangeable or requires expensive, dangerous, painful surgery, which I wouldn't necessarily even want to do anyway, stuff like that. But personality, social skills, that can be changed. I don't think so. Yeah, especially the older I get. And I think you can prove it to yourself pretty easily, which is take like a behavior characteristic or a personality trait or whatever, and really try to change it, and see if you can sustain that change. And you probably won't make it very long. It's supposed to be like it's really difficult. Like, you really have to change. I don't believe you can change from the outside in. It has to be from the inside out. And so no, like, do I think like you could study and like learn? It's like, be it like she says this, I say this, or interact like this. No, if you look at the guys who are really good at flirting, it's just natural for them. So you could say like, Yeah, but there's like people who train to become good at basketball or at golf or whatever. So why couldn't you train to become good at flirting? Well, a couple things. First of all, it's much easier and more realistic to practice those things and than it is to, practice flirting. So theoretically, if you had a way where you could practice, you could probably make some progress, but it's just not going to be as easy. I would say that generally speaking, and who knows like how much progress you'd make. Like if let's say you wanted to be good at golf, right? You go out there and practice, but you're probably never going to be any better than like a 15 handicap, no matter how much you play. And assuming you're just some normal guy. Like no matter like, and if this is like with you getting like top-notch training, doing it all the time, it's probably going to be your limit, something around there. And then similarly, like you're going to have there. On the other hand, there's going to be guys like Steph Curry who play golf like twice a year and are still good enough to play on the pro tour. That's how good he is. So it's just one of those things where it's really more about aptitude. And if you don't have aptitude to be a good flirt, I don't think there's anything you can do. I mean, I'm not trying to mega black pill you. I just don't think there is anything you can do. Like, doesn't mean you can't get women. It just means that flirting isn't really how you're going to do it, which does make it more difficult, and as if it wasn't hard enough already for you. That's all for now, and I'll see you in the next.